Today we're talking about negative energy. You may want to call it negativity. This comes from people around us who are negative, who always want to pull you down, who always want to discourage you. This might be people who have issues in their lives, dealing with their own demons, with their own crisis, life crisis, and this might be people who are unhappy with their lives, people who are miserable, and this might also be people who want to have what you have, people who want to be like you, but they are not able to have what you have. I'm not talking about material things here, but I'm talking about peace of mind and positiveness in your life, the way you live your life, the way you conduct yourself. They are not able to do that, and so they want to pull you down. The only way for them to deal with their own crisis in life is to pull you down, to involve you in it so you can become like them. And these are people who, there's a term for people like that. They're called enemies of progress. Every time you want to do something positive, not only for yourself, but for your family and for your community, people will discourage you. They will try to pull you down. They will say you cannot do it. Others will say, Galita Maria Sakid, you will not be able to do it. And in my own situation, a woman with a physical disability, when I came to Australia 15 years ago, I am from a peasant family, very poor peasant family in South Sudan, and I grew up in Uganda for 19 years in refugee camps before I came to Australia 19 years ago. So when I came to Australia, I wanted to join the university, and I asked in my community, people who have already been in Australia for a long time, to direct me and to show me the way how to apply for university and how to join the university. But they told me that there were men in my community who have come to Australia with master degrees, with PhDs, and with bachelor degrees, but they have not been able to join the university, that their qualifications were not recognized here. And I can understand that, but they thought that every circumstance is going to be the same. They didn't give me the opportunity to try my own luck. And so if I had listened to them, I would not have been able to join the university. Anyway, I did join the university, and I graduated with a bachelor degree and with a master degree. So if I had listened to them, I would not have been able to go to the university. For example, I am from a family of people who have not been to the university. My parents have never been to the university, and no one in my family had ever been to the university before I did. And I would have looked back and said, hang on a minute, I'm from this lineage where nobody has ever gone to the university. What am I doing? I would have listened to them, but I focused on my abilities and my strengths, and I was able to go to the university. Also, in 2014, I ran for parliament here in South Australia, um, as a lead candidate in the upper house with Dignity Party SA. It used to be called Dignity for Disability back then. And so when I was asked if I could run, and I said yes. I put my hand up and I said yes. And so when I asked for support in my own community, people laughed at me. They said that I'm crazy. They gave me examples of South Sudanese people who have been in Australia for 20 years and who have not run for parliament. They said that I was crazy, that I would not win, that I would not succeed. I knew that winning was going to be very tough, given that I was running with a small party, and I was still new in Australia, and that was my first time to run. But if the winning was going to be there, that was going to be a bonus. And I also wanted to do something that has never been done before in my family and in my community. I am not from a family of politicians. I have never had a relative who is a politician, but I was the first one to run for parliament in my family. And so I just wanted to encourage other people. I want to encourage my children, especially. I want my children to grow up and look at me and say, look at mom, she has a disability and she has been able to do this. And I want my to be a role model to my children and to other young people in my community. And I think I did that. So some people in my community, particularly discouraged me. They refused to support me, and others even refused to vote for me. And even though I was new in Australia, and even though majority of the people in my community did not vote for me, I was able to receive 10,000 votes, which was really good for a new person in Australia. And running for parliament in itself, in the upper house, especially as a lead candidate, was a success in itself. And so if I had listened to them, I would not have been able to run for parliament. I would not have been able to go to the university. The people in my community gave me an example of men, that there were men who came with PhDs, who came with degrees, and they have not been able to go to the university. For me, I only came with a diploma. And they did it on purpose, because they thought that I am a woman, I cannot be able to do that. Which I understand, because in the South Sudanese community, education and employment back then is a business, is a men's business, not women's business. Women were only trained to be housewives, to be mothers, and to be carers in their families and in their community. But they didn't give me the opportunity to explore my abilities and strengths. And but I was able to do that, even with very limited support from other people. And so also when I was young, people told me that I was not going to be able to have children because of the my weak back, because of the weakness in my legs, and because of the scoliosis in my back. People said that I would not be able to carry pregnancy to full term. But I was able to have children of my own, and I am now a happy mother of two beautiful daughters. I had 3 children, but I lost my middle child to stillbirth. If I had listened to that, I would not have been able to have children. When I was running for parliament, if I had listened to the discouragement, I would not have been able to run for parliament. But like I said, I was the first African woman to have run for parliament in Australia, not only in South Australia, but Australia-wide. African woman from a refugee background to have ever run for parliament in Australia. That was a success in itself. And if you have been discouraged, my question to you is, have you ever been called a wastage of space? Have people ever said things to you like nothing good will ever come out of you? And how have you dealt with that negativity around you? I know that the power of negativity is strong, and it can destroy your life if you don't handle it properly. It can pull you down. It can ruin your life emotionally. You can become an emotional wreck. But how do you deal with that? For me, in my own situation, how I dealt with that was to prove everyone who have been discouraging me wrong by doing the things that they never expected I was able to do, or I was capable of doing them. So my encouragement to you today is that don't sit at the corner and cry under your armpit. Just focus on your strengths, focus on your abilities, and just know that there is something more powerful than the power of negativity. You yourself, you are more powerful than the negativity around you. And if you are a Christian, the power of prayer is more powerful than the power of negativity around you. So try and find that peace of mind that contentment within you, and prove everyone wrong, and surround yourself with positive people. Don't just look down on yourself just because people look down on you. Prove everyone wrong, and yeah, you will get there. Thank you. That's another episode of my life journey. I will catch you another time. Bye.